What's up, Press? Yay, yay. Hey, what's up, Joko? Amy Gonzalez. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Wish I could have started a little bit sooner. Oh, that's weird. Damn, music just shut off by itself. Okay. Oh, wait a couple more minutes. Get a few more people in. Right now I have 5 and 5. Hey, thanks, Amy. You have a good one too. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, we do have at least 2 more chapters left. Yeah, we got at least two more chapters left. Alrighty. Shall we go ahead and get started? I think we shall. Alrighty. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So we have 9 thumbs up, we have 4 in chat. Honoring the code talkers. Tum-tums are beating and smoke signals are spiraling. A quarter of a century after the last wave of Marines had hit the beaches, the last foxhole had been dug, the last mortar shell had hit its mark with deadly accuracy, and the Japanese had made their last ditch stand before surrendering. General Clifton B. Cates, fighting 4th Marine Division, began to make plans for their 22nd annual reunion. Oh, good grief. Why don't you fucking know it? I should have just went to the damn library where it was quieter. I don't mind the trains every now and then, but damn, I hope it ain't gonna be the one after the other here every damn 5 minutes. I should have just went straight to the library. What's up, guys? Juicy Jess. What's up, guys? I was about to get started. As soon as I did, here comes a damn train. Burgers and loaded tots. Lurking. Alright, let's get started. A quarter of a century after the last wave of Marines had hit the beaches, the last foxhole had been dug, the last mortar shell had hit its mark with deadly accuracy. Clifford P. Cates, Fighting 4th Marine Division, began to make plans for their 22nd annual reunion. It would be time to renew acquaintances and relive moments shared in the Central and South Pacific. Hey, what's up, Santa Ana? After World War II, two Marines of the 4th Division, Jerry Pines and Frank Blanchard, had an idea for a monument to the men who did not return to those who were severely wounded, a scholarship fund for the education of their children. This concept of service through scholarship funds was later adopted by other Marine Division associations. Reunions of the 4th Marine Division since then have taken on the extra dimension of the business of perpetuating scholarship funds. At previous get-togethers, commanding officers of various regiments and other individuals who had distinguished themselves had been singled out to be honored in a very special way. Lee Cannon, press secretary for the 4th Division, was chairman for the upcoming occasion, which was to be held in Chicago. He turned over in his mind thoughts of the people he knew he had served significantly in some way, but who might not otherwise be honored. As an amateur student of Indian lore, he was aware of the contribution of the Navajo code talkers, and thought that this might be an ideal time to confer upon them the honor they so richly merited. The idea of carrying out an Indian heritage theme and honoring a representative member of the Code Talkers at the final banquet of the reunion struck fire with the 42 men and women in the Chicago chapter of the association. Clayton Caston, a retired president of the association, was in full agreement with the plan. The first problem was finding these men after 25 years. Lieutenant Colonel Walter Bixby, Colonel James Godbold were given the task of publicizing the plan to honor the Code Talkers, and he and his Marine associates launched the search through Mr. W. J. McFarland, Chief of the Office of Information of the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the Leatherneck, the Navajo Times, the Amerindian, the Indian Record, a monthly put out by the Department of the Interior, and though the fantastically effective Moccasin Telegraph. The following article is an example of the kind of thing that appeared in publications that were often read by the Navajos. Hey, what's up, Joe? Tom-toms are beating and smoke signals are spiraling skyward in search of the Navajo code talkers of the 4th Division. These Marines of American Indian heritage will be the honored guests when the men of the Fighting 4th Marine Division Association gather in Chicago June 25th through the 28th for their 22nd annual reunion. In almost every operation during World War II, through the Solomons and the Marianas, at Peleliu and Iwo Jima, the Navajo signalmen confounded the enemy with their unbreakable code. Now more than a score of years later, the search is underway to locate these Navajos of the 4th Division who contributed so magnificently to victory. They will step front and center at the final banquet in the Sheraton Chicago Hotel on Saturday night, June 28th, to receive a salute and accolade from their fellow Marines. Because of the tremendous significance of the event, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 6th Divisions had been invited to select one member of their own Navajo Code Talkers to represent their organization at the 4th Division's reunion and also receive the same medal. The Chicago Committee, headed by Lee Cannon, Chairman George Mazarakos, Executive Secretary, and Colonel Joseph McCarthy, MOH, met with members of the Navajo tribe, among whom was Peter McDonald, destined to become chairman of the Navajo Tribal Council a few years later. Lloyd House, the first Navajo to serve in the Arizona legislature, was selected by tribe members to serve as liaison between the Navajos and the Chicago Reunion Committee. The Navajo Tribal Council accepted the responsibility of choosing 15 Navajo Code Talkers from the Marine 4th Division and one each from the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 6th to be honored at the reunion. The response was heartwarming. Officers who remembered the name of Code Talkers under their command sent information. One man sent a list of names and addresses as of 1945 of 28 Navajos who had been in the Fourth Signal Company. Letters from code talkers themselves began to trickle in. With the search underway, the committee began to make arrangements to bring these men to Chicago by plane. Excuse me, guys. You just got stupid people just driving around here. Invitations were sent out to men in high positions in the nation, related in some way to the project, and the transportation arrangements and hotel accommodations for the special guests were made. Marines were assigned to act as special hosts to the Navajos in Chicago, and those in charge now to began to arrange for the right decoration to be given to each code talker on that important occasion. Awesome, awesome, guys. There's 20 thumbs up in here and 3 people in chat. Hey, thanks for hitting the thumbs up, guys. Just leave a comment so I know who's here and say thank you to. Hey, Karen, what's happening? Oh, yeah, sorry. I was Ira Hayes, His Dream, His Reality by Joe Reese Grandi. If you guys remember the other book I had, the story of Ira Hayes, the first story that I read was this guy right here. Is the guy all the way to the left. So that's him right there. A Dream, a Reality. Ira Hayes, His Dream, His Reality is a painting done by the artist Joe Reese Grandi that has attracted nationwide attention. Ira Hayes, a Pima Indian, was, as was noted in American newspapers across the land, one of the men who raised the flag of Mount Suribachi in Iwo Jima. He was caught by the camera of Joe Rosenthal, Associated Press photographer, in a poignant scene at a strategic moment in history. Arthur Stanton, veteran Marine, friend of Hayes, whom he characterized as a loner, had asked Mr. Grandi to paint this picture. He spoke with admiration of the man who had dreamed with envy of his ancestors who once roamed the vast plains of the Great West, proud and free. The large painting depicts Hayes dressed in the hunting regalia of his tribe, astride an Indian pony. To his left and in the background, in a glowing mist of those unforgettable men victoriously planting the stars and stripes on Mount Suribachi. The painting was presented to General Wallace M. Greene, Jr., Commandant of the Marine Corps, on February 19, 1965, during ceremonies to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the historic landing on Iwo Jima. The painting was hung in Marine Corps headquarters and later transferred to the Marine Corps Museum at Quantico, Virginia. What painting could possibly be more significant as the basis for the design on a medallion to honor the Indian Marine? Mr. Cannon called on Mr. Grundy to ask his permission to use it on the medallion design and received a quick affirmative response. The Franklin Mint in Eden, Pennsylvania designed and struck the medallion in bronze. An amazingly faithful replica in an entirely different medium. It depicts Ira Hayes and the Suribachi seen in sharp relief on the face of the medallion, and the symbol of the 4th Marine Division on the reverse side. It is 1/4 inch in thickness and 3 inches in diameter. To support the heavy decorations, rawhide thongs 18 inches long and strung with red, white, and blue Indian beads were ordered from a center of the Southern Plains Indians at Anadarko, Oklahoma. On the occasion of the commemorative banquet, Ira Hayes' His Dream, His Reality hung over the heads of the recipients of the medallion. The following was written by Joy Schultz to appear opposite a print of the painting in her book, The West Still Is. Hey, Sewer Dog, how you doing today? Wear it with pride, you gallant few, who lived to remind the world of a mountain, a war, a handful of men who saw a flag unfurled. Iwo Jima. Who can forget what a free world found to praise as brave Marines lift a flag aloft. One in Indian, Ira Hayes' reservation, his home, port, his lot. He harbored a dream that he could have lived as his fathers before him lived. Daring and brave and free. He wanted to live in a day long past that lives in the Indians' history. On an isle in World War II, he found his moment of glory. The man is gone, but the dream lives on, and it looms on history's scene. Ira Hayes in the Stars and Stripes, a hero and Indian and Marine. In some far happier hunting ground where dead chiefs their mounts can tether, there's a place for Marine Ira Hayes, the man and the dream together. Step front and center. And here we go again with another damn train. Well, that's all it was. God damn, I didn't even hear no fucking train. I was thinking it was a freaking train. Yeah, but here's the Navajos are feted at Independence Hall in Chicago. Gunnery Sergeant G.R. Smith, corps photographer, and the drum and bugle corps of the 4th Marine Air Wing. Navajos were feted from the moment they arrived. Their first stop in the big city was at Independence Hall. The president of the institution, Dr. Sidney L. DeLove, greeted them with a hot buffet and showed them his collection of early Americana, including guns and priceless documents. They were taken to the executive house, which, as one of them said, was to be their home away from Hogan. During their stay, they were given a sightseeing tour of the city, were entertained at a powwow sponsored by Indians of Chicago at the American Indian Center, and were photographed and interviewed by newsmen. Many people and representatives of institutions requested the honor of hosting the visiting Indians at luncheons and other special events. Okay, it says 0 in chat. Is there anybody in chat? Just want to make sure because it says 0. Y'all can talk and chat amongst yourselves to keep that count in there because I keep thinking nobody's watching and then. All right. Hey, what's up, 03? Thanks, Sewer Dog. Joko. Colonel Joseph McCarthy, representing Richard J. Daley, Mayor of Chicago, welcomed the Marines to the city. Greetings were extended from General L. F. Chapman, Jr., Commandant of the Marine Corps, through his representative, Brigadier General Robert P. Keller of Glenview Naval Air Station. Greetings from the 4th Marine Division through Brigadier General General William J. Weinstein. Navajos posed before a statue of Marine in Chicago. Oh, the Rex Island Museum. Navajos posed before the Statue of Marine in Chicago. Hey, Charlie, what's happening? How to do? General Clifton P. Cates presents medallion to Robert L. Bennett, former Commissioner of Indian Affairs. A lithograph of Navajo code talkers was presented to Robert L. Bennett, former Commissioner of Indian Affairs, by John Fabian, 4th Marine Division combat artist, Professor Emeritus of Art at Chicago Art Institute. Richard T. Buress, Deputy Counsel representing President Richard Nixon, read a message from the Commander-in-Chief and conveyed personal greetings to the code talkers. Mr. Buress had served as a lieutenant in the 4th Marine Division in the Iwo Jima campaign. Anthony Lincoln, then director of the Navajo tribe, responded to the Honorable Raymond Nakai, then chairman of the Navajo Nation, by thanking the Commandant of the Marine Corps and all those assembled for the honor to be conferred upon the code talkers. Mr. Cannon, referring to the quiet heroes who have made this a most memorable reunion, asked Mr. Larison to present to the American Indian Marine Awards. In an atmosphere of charged emotion, Mr. Cannon asked the men to step front and center as their names were called to receive the decoration for meritorious service in communications. The name, of serial number, and the battalion, regiment, and division in which each served was called out amid tumultuous applause. General officers took turns placing the medallions around the necks of the Indian warriors. As the ceremony proceeded, a strange sense of true brotherhood could be felt, coupled with a profound pride and achievement in the service of the nation. Many of those present were unable to suppress tears. After the last of the code talkers, the 4th Division, had been decorated, Mr. Cannon said, in a voice reflecting his own depth of feeling, "These men are quiet. They keep their trust. They are 4th Division heroes, every one of them. To them, our heartiest congratulations." Others who received awards were representatives of the other 5 Marine divisions. Colonel Ruth Bro, Corporal Lillian C. Naminga, for all women Marines of Indian heritage, Chief Warren Sankey, 4th Tank Battalion of Oklahoma, on behalf of other American Indian tribes. Okay. So might have been missing a page or something there. I'm not sure. Lee Cannon presents award plaque to Joe Reese Grande, artist whose painting Ira Hayes' dream, his reality, was used as his design for the medallions. Brigadier General Robert Keller presents award medallion to Anthony Lincoln, the director of the Navajo tribe. Recipients of the award medallion at the reunion banquet. Hey, what's up, Jay? JD, John Denicola, what's happening, brother? Colonel Ruth Bro congratulates Corporal Lillian C. Naminga on receipt of the medallion. Mr. Cannon related briefly the way in which he had heard about Philip Johnson's place in the origin of the Navajo Code. During the initial stages of the reunion search for the code talkers, letters and telephone calls came to him in Chicago, the gist of which was, "How about Philip Johnston?" He got busy and through Harry Larison located the man in California. The reunions are important to us. There is a great deal of laughter. There are a host of shared memories as scenes and incidents are recalled in the mellow atmosphere. There they sit, laughing once more at one time funny scene created loudly and brought vividly to light, speaking suddenly and total recall of little towns important now only to people who live in them, and to the guys who were once there in their lives, in mud and snow and rain and black nights filled only with the steady, ominous drone of planes overhead and hushed voices below. All reunions of men who had served their country together have a common ground and somber note that lingers. Richard T. Perez, Deputy Counsel representing President Richard Nixon, presents medallion to Philip Johnston. This year, your reunion will be especially significant because of the richly merited recognition you are giving to the American Indian Marines who served with the Fighting Fourth in World War II. The Navajo Code Talkers who served with the Fourth made a unique contribution to your division and to Marine Corps history. The presentation of medallions to these veterans will honor not only them but the Indian people throughout the country. On June 25th, Robert N. Huey, officer in charge of the Industrial Development Field Office of the Bureau of Indian Affairs, sent this message. It is most gratifying to observe the show of nostalgia for a job well done by the members of the division during World War II. It is especially pleasing to me on the reunion occasion 25 years later that you have chosen to honor your brothers in combat, the Navajo Code Talkers who, with flying colors, so incredibly planted their efforts on the hearts and minds of Americans everywhere. A few weeks after the reunion, Mr. Cannon received this letter from John B. Richardson, Chief of Social Service of the Public Health Service Indian Hospital. It had been brought to my attention by one of our staff members that the Fighting 4th Marine Division recently had a reunion. I was shown a June copy of the leatherneck that described what was to occur. What interested us was the awards to be given to the Navajo Marines who participated in the Code Division. It related how medals would be given to those men because of their contribution to the war by delivering radio messages in Navajo, a language the Japanese couldn't figure out. Left to right, Vice Chairman Navajo Tribal Council William C. Skeet, Chairman Navajo Tribal Council Peter McDonald, Brigadier General Leslie Brown, U.S. Marine Corps Lee Cannon, 4th Marine Division Association, yada yada yada. Goddamn. Had to take a damn breath before reading all that shit. It's like they put it all in one damn fucking sentence there. Alright. That's the end of that chapter. We'll go ahead and get this one done. A Century of Achievement. 1929, the Navajo Reservation branch of forestry was created and given the responsibility of managing existing small government mills along with forest management. In 1953, the Tribal Council and the Commissioner of the Bureau of Indian Affairs joined approved jointly approved a plan for timber management. 3 years later, outside consultants were brought in to advise on formation of expanded lumber manufacturing facilities. In 1966, a bark processing plant was set up to produce humus, pebble bark, acorn bark, and jumbo bark for agricultural uses, bed plants, shrubbery, and ground cover. Chips were also processed to be used in manufacturing prefab homes. In 1969, a second boiler and electrical generating plant were installed. By utilizing excess wood waste for fuel, the new facilities provided steam power and electrical energy for the Navajo tribal utility enterprises. Today, Navajo pine is sold throughout the Southwest and as far east as Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. Development of agriculture is of prime importance to tribal leaders over the years. Large numbers of irrigation projects have been completed to assist the farmers. A farm training program is jointly sponsored by the Navajo tribe and the Bureau of Indian Affairs. A grazing committee is mapping out areas for families to use for their sheep and cattle. In 1967, the Navajos recognized the need for a retail store to sell meats, groceries, hardware, department store items, and auto supplies at the lowest possible prices. They asked the FedMart Corporation to build such a store in their capital. They have made a feasibility study concerning the annual retail sales potential at Window Rock, a study that came up with a surprising figure of $4 million. FedMart's Vice President Robert E. Price was dubious at first, for there seemed to be nothing promising at Window Rock for a discount store business. But the company agreed to build a 33,000 square foot facility. The Navajos invested about $65,000 and FedMart about $150,000. Tribe owns the store and leases it to FedMart, a policy maintaining all Navajo directed operations on the reservation. The modern Window Rock Motor Inn quietly opened its doors in March 1970. With 50 rooms leased to an Anglo businessman for a motel and 40 rooms to the Indian Health Service as offices, the motel was soon buzzing with business. It is a comfortable, attractive hostelry for visitors to the area or guests of the tribal government, with an excellent dining room and coffee shop, and facilities for special events. During the first month of operation, a number of conferences, including an educators' meeting, were held there. Young Navajo men and women who have spent little time in the white man's world were trained by the manager and a Kippo executive housekeeper to keep books. Registered guests keep the place spotlessly clean, serve food, and to make a visit to the inn a pleasant and enjoyable experience. Raymond Nakai, chairman of the Navajo Tribal Council from 1963 to 70, spoke eloquently to the author of plans for the future of the nation in terms of the expansion of educational facilities and further industrialization, and added, "We boast of unpolluted air and the place where man can get closer to nature, where he can go and commune and really get unwound. The tribe does not intend to permit the establishment of industries that might in any way interfere." Hey, what's up, Dilho? This is the Honorable Raymond Nakai, chairman of the Navajo Tribal Council. Men who wish to build factories must agree to install filter systems to keep the air clean. Looking back to the opening of the centennial year, 100 years after the signing of the Peace Treaty of 1868, it is remembered that Mr. Nakai delivered a stirring address, a portion of which follows. The century of progress which we commemorate has not been an easy 100 years. It was initiated by the tragic and heartbreaking Long March from Fort Sumner It marked a struggle of a proud people accustomed to roam unfettered over the vast expanses of this great western United States. It reflects the slow but steady progress of our people to this very moment. However difficult has been our struggle, was the faith of the Navajo people the least bit diminished in their ultimate place in our society. Never did the Navajo despair. Always he sought and fought for a better way of life, all in all. This past 100 years does reflect great progress in the past of our people. We are at the beginning of our true development. I shall not be here when the second centennial of the Navajo Nation is commemorated, but let me here give the next 100 years a name. Hey, what's up, Pug? Pug face in the house. Thanks, Karen. Appreciate it. As the first century has been called a century of progress, let the second be called a century of achievement. We are indeed on the threshold of great achievements for our people in the fields of education, industrial development, and economic well being. The next decade will witness giant steps forwarding in these areas. Yes, we are on a long march again, a march forward and upward, a march toward achievement for all that is good for our people. It shall require the best in all of us to reach our goal, for our sights are high and we will not content for mere modest achievements. Let us resolve to make this next 100 years a great century for our people, so that our children's children in the year 2068 can announce with pride. This past 100 years has been indeed a century of great achievement. Peter MacDonald, inaugurated January 5th, 1971 as chairman of the Tribal Council, has pledged Peter MacDonald, inaugurated January 5th as chairman of the Tribal Council, has pledged to continue in the direction set by the predecessor, Mr. Nakai. He says that his own life story is a good example of what Navajos are going to have to do to achieve their aims. He was born on the reservation near Four Corners, a meeting place for the states of Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. He was given the Navajo name that means "he who clasps hands with strength," a name suggested by a white man at the trading post. His parents were poor and neither of them spoke English. His father died when he was only 2 years old, and his mother and the 4 children went to live with his grandfather. When Peter's mother took him to school for the first time, the teacher asked the child's last name. Peter had always been called by the one name only, and his mother suddenly came up with a Navajo term that means many whiskers, his grandfather's name. The word sounded like Donald to the teacher, and she registered him under the name Peter Donald. When the little boy learned that well-known song "Old MacDonald Had a Farm," he decided to change his name to Peter MacDonald. When he was 12, he left school to herd sheep and later to work at a sawmill in Dolores, Colorado. Here he heard that a railroad was hiring men all the way on the line all the way to Oregon. Being only 14 and a half at the time, he was not eligible for one of those jobs, for which the applicants had to be 18 years of age. To take care of this little deterrent, he went to the Selective Service Board for a draft card, given his age as 18. About 6 weeks later in Oregon, the government caught up with him and he was drafted for service. At the age of 15, he became a Marine and not long after saw service in the Pacific. Hey, Cindy D, welcome, welcome. Very awesome to have all you guys here. Dang, almost close to 30 likes. You guys are so awesome, man. Thank you guys. On his return, he was able to finish high school in a period of 9 months. He eventually graduated from the University of Oklahoma with a degree in electrical engineering. The degree led him to a job with the Hughes Aircraft Corporation. And and subsequently a position as executive in the Polaris Missile Program. Chairman McDonald is the grandson of Lefty Curly Hair and Little Grandmother, who were among those who made the long walk. The pull of the past and his own people made him agree to leave his fine position in California and return to the reservation to take a federal post. He was active in the affairs of the Navajo Nation for 8 years prior to his election to its highest post. Mr. McDonald says he would like to see a Yellow Pages section in the telephone directory for Navajos, including listings for food stores, filling stations, dry cleaning establishments, car dealers, movie theaters, clothing stores, Coca-Cola bottling plants, barber shops, and motels owned by Navajos and employing Navajos. In order to accomplish these goals, he foresees two necessary changes. One, a stronger emphasis on young Navajos getting a sound education to take over responsible jobs in private business and to do what they also need, practical experience in tough competition off the reservation. The government must institute economic aid with a permanent effect. The three primary needs are a major road building project, the bringing of electric power into all the vast area of the reservation, and a similar undertaking to make ample water available for manufacturing. On July 9th and 10th, 1971, 65 former code talkers convened at the Tribal Museum in Window Rock, Arizona, for the purpose of organizing an association as well as enjoying the reunion with buddies who had been under fire with them almost 30 years before as communicators in the Pacific. The museum was co-sponsored by the Center of Western History in Utah and Martin Link, curator of the Navajo Tribal Museum, along with Ted Evans, director of Veterans Affairs for the tribe. Great Seal of the Navajo Tribe. Peter McDonald at his inauguration as chairman of the Navajo Tribal Council. A spirit of excitement and camaraderie prevailed. Philip Johnson was there to spark memories of experiences at Camp Elliott and Camp Pendleton. At one session devoted to organization, John Benally was elected chairman, James DeKay vice chairman, and William McCobb secretary-treasurer. A member from each of the 6 divisions was then elected to the board. The first meeting of the Navajo Code Talkers Association was scheduled to be held at Window Rock on Veterans Day in the fall of 1971. To test their skills in code talking, an event took place with the aid of the Marine Post in Albuquerque. Camp was set up on the hill behind the museum, now facetiously called C. Ration Hill. Most of the code talkers congregated on this hill, while a small group was deployed to another about a mile away. Messages and codes such as Hill 182 was taken 0600 a.m. this date were sent by field telephone. If the receivers understood the message, they would give the sender the Roger and repeat the message in English. The last code talker to test the skill sent this message: "May the Navajo Nation endure for all time. In God we trust." The country as a whole is becoming increasingly aware of the vital place of the Navajo tribe in the national life. Many have belatedly discovered their contribution to winning the victory in World War II. Preceding the annual Navajo Tribal Fair held September 8th through the 12th, 1971, President Richard Nixon sent the following message to Peter McDonald, chairman of the Navajo Tribal Council. I'll read that in just one second. I'm going to show you the pictures on the other page. Sergeant Scroggins and Philip Johnson on C. Ration Hill during the Code Talkers reunion. Martin Link, curator of the Navajo Tribal Museum, gets instructions on how to operate a walkie-talkie from Code Talkers. Merrill Sandoval and Teddy Draper at the Code Talkers reunion. Judge Dean Wilson sends a message during the Code Talkers reunion. Terry Draper assists by recording. Paul Blatchford looks on during the proceedings. In my message to Congress last year relating to the Indian Affairs and in subsequent legislative proposals I made to the Congress, I spelled out a program of economic, educational, health, and other related measures on behalf of American Indians. I take this occasion to renew my pledge of support for that legislation and every program that will give substance to the hopes that this administration shares with you for the coming of the day when all American Indians will have the fullness of opportunity that is their rightful due as citizens of this great country. The President followed this message with one that was read during the memorial service for veterans during the tribal fair on the afternoon of September 11. Since sending my greetings to you and the participants in the Navajo Tribal Fair, it has come to my attention that the occasion will feature a special tribute to the Marine Corps Navajo Indian Code Talkers. I welcome this opportunity to reinforce the best wishes I extended to you. A special personal tribute to these outstanding citizens whose successful mission earned them the gratitude and admiration of all Americans. Their resourcefulness, tenacity, integrity, and courage saved the lives of countless men and women and sped the realization of peace for war-torn lands. In the finest spirit of the Marine Corps, their achievements form a proud chapter in American military history. My congratulations to them on behalf of all their fellow citizens. On July 25, 1972, leaders of the Navajo Nation met in the council chambers to hear the news they had long awaited. At this meeting, Council Chairman Peter McDonald accepted the offer of the United States to let the Navajo people run the affairs of their own reservation. The plan as proposed by the United States government is to give the tribe within a period of 2 years control over the $100 million a year operation that has up to this time been administered by the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the Department of the Interior. President Nixon meets with Peter McDonald, chairman of the Navajo Tribal Council. All right. The author is reminded of the call for united effort found in a statement made by Chairman McDonald at his inauguration, printed on the program for the ceremony. Let us all come together in the spirit of cooperation and move forward together in a new era of great achievements, opportunities, and a better tomorrow for all. It now appears that Navajos can look toward a better tomorrow with confidence and hope. If they all come together with the ardor of the veteran code talker who fervently prays that the Navajo Nation may endure for all time. One Indian summed it all up when he said, "We have a hard trail ahead of us. We are not afraid of hard trails." As the end. The end. Wow, that was amazing. That was an amazing book. Wow. Very, very good. I do thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank all of you guys, man. You guys are super awesome, caring, always dropping links and inviting folks in. It's much appreciated. Thank you. I'm glad you guys stuck with me to the very end there. When we finished that book together. I'll see which other ones I can find. There's the one book I did find on Salome, Arizona, but I don't know, it just Dick Wick Hall. Stories from the Sloan Sun by Arizona's most famous humorist. I don't know, that one, I don't know, I haven't read it yet. Shit. Look at that. How many of you guys remember that shit? Look at the date on that. 93. When you used to sign off for the books like that. Well, I don't know. I'll have to give this a look over here and see if it'll be a good one here. I don't know, man. That's not really what I was looking for in that one. Yeah. Yeah, John. Remember the old ass fucking cards, man? You'd fucking just, when you go to check out the book, you had to write your name in it. And, yeah. I'm gonna go take these books back, man, because I'm gonna see if I can check out something else. I'll keep it interesting and keep you guys interested as well. If there's anybody that's willing to donate anything to just get a bite to eat today, it don't have to be much. I mean, maybe $10 is good, I guess. You know, 'cause I'm kind of starving right now. So, if you guys are willing to donate anything, just to get a bite to eat, I'm really grateful for that. If not, your guys' continued support for my channel is more than enough for me. So, but if you guys can, it's greatly appreciated. Oh, coffee money. Oh, okay. All right, man. I thank you very much, man. Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And I'll definitely let you guys know. Oh, yeah. Right over here. Right over in that little area on the opposite side there. They do have a spot there where the people take photos and they upload them to the arts and commissions place here, and they hang it up on the wall. So I was gonna try my luck at that, see how that goes, see if I get my picture up there. That'd be awesome. But I thank you guys once again. I'm gonna head over to the library and I'm gonna take this book back. And I'll definitely let you guys know what I picked. And thank you guys. Catch you guys on the next one. So ZG, the Lone Wolf of Arizona.